Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to the Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ Benoit. Thanks so much for tuning in as we uplift, support, and celebrate our beloved Blackhawks just tearing through their centennial season. If you're new, welcome. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It'll mean a lot to me. But also, I'd love to have you along as we're just growing this wonderful community. You'll see who they are in the comments. They're just fantastic people. So we've got our top 4 topics of the day. So let's dive in, shall we? Hey, how about them Bears? Oh no, that also sucked. So this weekend, not great for Hawks fans. We were coming in after a Thursday win, 2-1 over LA, and we kind of ran into a buzzsaw of epic proportions. Not particularly from any particular team, but just, I guess, kind of against ourselves. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I'm going to pull up some box scores, which are freaking ugly, just terrible. But we'll talk about them. And we'll also talk about, how we can bounce back from this. So let's take a look at what happened on Saturday, right? So we won 2-1 2 nights earlier, and then LA basically turned into a nightmare. The Kings exploded for 6 unanswered goals. The Blackhawks fell victim to a tough reminder about how unforgiving this league can be. Shut us out 6-0. Brutal, right? From the puck drop, it was clear to LA have different energy. They controlled the middle, which they're famous for, forced turnovers, and made us play badly, especially in the second and third periods. The first period, for us, really, really tight, right? But here's what happened. We had a collapse in the second period. The floodgates opened, right, after a very clean first period. The Kings scored 3 in the middle frame, including a pair from Brandt Clark, who finished the night with a brace. Defensive breakdowns and turnovers, too many odd man rushes, soft passes through the neutral zone, turnovers in dangerous spots, the kind of mistakes that elite teams punish without mercy. Offensive silence. The Blackhawks couldn't generate a return goal all night. Shots were there, but traffic, turnovers, and a hot goalie in net for LA shut down every opportunity. Even with Spencer Knight stopping 26 shots, you can't expect that to bail you out when the other team scores 6, right? So a few bright spots, still worth noting. There are lessons in ugly losses, right? The first period energy was solid, good puck possession, decent shot volume, and a clean defensive structure early on. It showed the team hadn't lost its hunger or compete level. Effort from the young core. They tried pushing through the storm, even when things broke down. Effort matters, and on nights like this, it's easy to mail it in. They didn't, right? So kudos to that. And it's a wake-up call. Sometimes it's exactly what a growing team needs. This kind of loss, and these next 2 losses, as painful as they are, can be a reality check that shapes better habits. So clearly, we just needed to protect the middle of the ice. We need to stick to structure when we're tired, and we got to finish our chances, right? So it stings. It's a hard reset, but sometimes that's what growth looks like. So let's talk about the box score from that game. And it was obviously 6-0 LA. They had 32 shots to our 23. Okay, again, we'd like to see more shots, obviously. We had 11 block shots to their 10. They had 20 hits to our 10. They won 34 faceoffs. We won 23. Power play, they were 1 of 2. And we were 0 for 3 on the power play. So, not pretty. Not pretty, right? Yeah. So, we're gonna talk more about this. All right. Next game, somehow was even slightly worse, right? So, last night at the Honda Center, the Ducks completely steamrolled the Hawks, putting up a 7-1 win, fueled by 53 shots and a ruthless second period again. From the opening whistle, Anaheim set the pace. By the time the dust settled, the Ducks had generated a barrage of chances, and Chicago just couldn't keep up. Hence, a 7-1 box score. Oh my gosh. So what went wrong, right? We had a defensive collapse, especially in period 2. Just think about this. Anaheim piled up 26 to 7 shots compared to Chicago in the middle frame alone. 26. That's more in that period than we had all of the game all in the previous game against LA, right? So they had 27 shots on goal in the second period. The pressure, the puck possession, the relentless attack, the Hawks never found a way to settle in. The Ducks kept pounding. Each mistake or turnover from Chicago turned into another dangerous look or another goal, seemingly. Fatigue and lack of discipline on the road. This was the tail end of a long, grueling road trip. Between back-to-back games and travel, the energy was clearly sagging as skates slowed, gaps opened, and positioning got sloppy. A recipe for disaster against a playoff hope team like Anaheim. Offense completely shut down. The Blackhawks got one goal late via the power play. Bertuzzi, way to go. But otherwise, they looked timid. Even 20 shots on goal couldn't generate enough traffic, scoring chances, or clean looks to challenge Anaheim's defense and netminder. When a team shoots as often as they did and still get routed, that means you're not just getting outplayed, you're getting controlled, right? So we had a couple of tiny sparks, right? Through the first period, the Hawks showed flashes of structure. We got to talk about positives when we can, right? A few good escapes, a couple of decent entries, and some puck movement that even hinted at bringing the fight, right? The young core didn't mail it in. Even under pressure and on a bad night, some guys battled hard to block shots, battled along the boards, crashed the corners. That matters in a rebuild. It's easy to take for granted after a blowout. But still, on a night like this, it's more about damage control than positives, right? So what do we got to do? We got to tighten the defensive structure, especially 5-on-5. When opponents are rushing, closing gaps, and defending like a unit matters. Mid-period lapses can't happen. Rebuild effort and stamina on the road trips, travel wear and tear is real, but being a part of a competitive NHL team is showing up even when you're tired. Energy management, rest, and mental focus need to be priorities. And generate high danger chances, not just shots. 20 shots doesn't mean much if none of them get through the traffic or create rebounds. The offense needs to crash the net, create chaos, and make opposition goalies uncomfortable. So what does this loss mean? It's a harsh wake-up call. The last two games have been brutal reminders of what the NHL can give you if you just kind of lose your focus or you kind of skate easy, right? This isn't a rebuild for fun. It's a rebuild to compete. There are still a lot of games left in the season, obviously, and nights like this can fuel change. If the Hawks take the lessons, tighten defensively, refocus mentally, keep competing, this loss can be more than just a bad stat line. It could be a turning point. So let me know in the comments, what do you want to see cleaned up first? The defense, the effort, or the offense? Who do you think needs to bounce back harder next game? So let's talk about this box score. So 7 goals to 1, right? We talked about that. 53 shots to 20. So we had 20 shots the entire game. They had 8 block shots. We had 10. We were even on hits at 15. They only won 2 more faceoffs than us, 38 to 28. Power play, we were 1 of 2. Hey, that's not bad. They were 2 of 5. That's not great. So a game like this, and it wasn't as ugly as this box score showed, right? 53 shots. It's nuts. It's just nuts. So anyway, moving on from there, let's get that away. But let's talk about what we need to do, right? So here's the real conversation for today. Because after back-to-back blowout losses, it's not time to panic, but absolutely it's time to pay attention, right? Over the last 5 periods, and I'm getting this from Greg Boyson over at Blackhawk Up. Over the last 5 periods, the Chicago Blackhawks have played their worst stretch of hockey under Blashill. Saturday night in LA, strong first period, as we talked about, but then the wheels completely fell off, outscored 6-0 the rest of the way. Sunday against the Ducks, somehow even worse. We know the final score. We know that they were outshot by 33 shots. Anaheim had 33 more shots than we did. We got outworked. We got out everything, right? So Blashill didn't sugarcoat it. He said our worst 2 games of the year were those 2 back-to-backs, and that's inexcusable. There was no structure. There was no puck support. There's no pushback. This team has been known for effort, but it just wasn't there the last couple of games. You can see the confidence slipping shift by shift. And the coach reminded everyone, this is a big boy league. You've got to have mental toughness. And he's right? You can't get buried like that 2 nights in a row and pretend everything is fine. So what happened? We let our goalie down, right? We let Knight down. Last night, we especially let Soderblom down. He played his heart out. He made 16 first-period saves just to keep it close, right? Because after the first, they were only up 1-0. He made 16 saves. That's amazing. He ended with 46 saves in a game where he gave up 7 goals, right? You look at a stat line like that, it just tells you, it reads the entire story of how little help that he had. It's embarrassing. It's unacceptable. And the forwards should be buying him dinner, and also the D-men, for the next months. And we're talking about the forwards. Where were they, right? Here's a stat that should make every fan cringe. We had 6 shots on goal the first period, right? Not awesome. Not great. We, of course, love to see more volume, but let's just take this as it is. 6 shots on goal the first period. All 6 shots came from the D-men. All came from defense. There were 9 shots in total from forwards all game. You can't win if only your blue line is shooting, right? We've talked about how it's great Blashill's trying to get the blue line to shoot more. Fantastic. But they can't be the only people shooting. You can't win if you never have the puck, because you kind of need it, right? And you definitely can't win if your top 6 looks invisible. We talked about people stepping up, filling in the gap, and not relying on the top 6, but the top 6 are still expected to be there, right? So this was historically level bad. It wasn't just a loss, it was historically awful. First time since 1951, the Hawks have lost by 6+ goals in consecutive games. It's the first NHL team to do that on back-to-back nights since the year 2000 Atlanta Thrashers. Not great company. Just 12% expected goals on 5-on-5, second worst in the entire NHL this season, right? It's not a blip. It's something way more serious than that. So we gotta focus on it. So here's the thing: it's still just 2 games out of 82, right? Got to get that in the rearview mirror. The Hawks are 1 point out of a wild card spot. Right now, they're still ahead of where anyone expected them to be. But this group has to look in the mirror. The answers are in that room. That room has clearly enough talent to compete, clearly enough talent to make a game of it every night and actually get us to where we need to be in the rankings. Blashill's a great coach. It's there though, right? We can't be waiting for all of our we have an excellent farm system. We have excellent players out in the wings waiting to get into the roster, but we can't wait for that, for people to be called up from Rockford. Someone not named Spencer Knight or Connor Bedard needs to step up and drag this team into a win. So, what's next? Wednesday night, we got the Rangers at home. Thank God. It's a chance for us to show some response. It's a chance for us to hit reset. It's a chance to prove that this rebuild isn't just crumbling at the first real hurdle that we've come across, right? This is a moment where a young team either folds or it figures it out. I think we're going to figure it out, right? I'm really hoping on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's go, team, right? We got this, though. We're going to come in. Rangers are coming in. We have another chance. Like I said, put this weekend behind us, and let's focus on what we got in front of us. So let's go. And saying all that, let's talk about your wonderful comments. Now, I'm going to kind of read them or paraphrase them or whatever, just because a lot of these comments came on Friday's video after we had that wonderful 2-1 win against the Kings, and we were riding high, and we're like, yeah, we're going to bust it up this week, or this weekend. It's going to be great. It's a little painful to read these now, but we'll kind of get through them. UC Sastamon-Moinen. Can't wait for Saturday to come. Hawks win 3-1. Well, all right. Let's go, Hawks. My name is UC. My Blackhawks fan journey started in December of 1992 when I got a rookie card of Chris Chelios. How cool is that? I hope it's kept pristine. I hope you've kept it really, really safe. That is a wonderful keepsake. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. There are a lot of dry seasons, but a lot of good players. Hasek and Belfour, great tandem. I liked Eric Daze, Tony Amante, and Zhamnov, and Nikolai Habibulin. Well, Hobby. God, I haven't heard his name in a while. I used to... first game I ever saw Arizona play was in Arizona, and Hobby was the goalie back then. Thank you for your comments, UC. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being a repeat offender. Ryan Austin, 1970, repeat offender. Hoping for 2 wins against the Hawks and Ducks. All right, didn't. How about a video on how top prospects are doing? You know what? Thank you for that. It'll get my mind off of what this weekend was. So I will focus on that. I'll try to make a segment about the young top prospects and how they're doing. Thank you for that, Ryan. Really appreciate your contributions as always. Beans 70-14. Knight gets the shutout. 3-0 Hawks. Unfortunately, the other goaltender got the shutout, as we know. Spencer Knight is my unsung hero. He's in the running for the Vezina. He has to be, right? I mean, he's been one of the top 3 goalies all year, except for Saturday. But I mean, he made 26 saves still. But anyway, he said Beans is visiting. He's staying downtown. Definitely going to go to Portillo's. Want to go to Riccabini's? Absolutely, you do. I mean, if you don't mind your heart stopping, absolutely you do. That pork sandwich is famous. Do you have any suggestions on food? If you like Asian fusion, I say Mott Street on Blackhawk and Ashland in Wicker Park. There's a place called Arazu, which is fantastic Costa Rican food, super cheap. They only accept cash, but excellent food. My God, look, Chi-Town is not for lack of fantastic restaurants. You want to spend a lot of money? You can spend a lot of money in Chicago. You want to eat really, really well for cheap? You can do that too. So just depends on what you want. Mott Street, fantastic. Like I said, Arazu, wonderful. It's on Milwaukee. If you have a chance, go to Au Cheval. Small Cheval is fine, but Au Cheval, the one on Randolph, the original one, not the main one, fantastic as well. So that's for burgers. Really anything you want. I mean, my God, I can go on for an hour about this kind of stuff because I'm fat and I love to eat. And Chicago is the best place in the world. So thank you, Beans. I hope that helps you out at least a little bit. Joshua Bauman, 3209. Reporters and analysis around the league are starting to take this team seriously, talking about playoff contention, when not long ago, people were saying things like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Very true. Very true. And we're still in that point. We're still in that conversation. We're looking at a legitimate 30-point swing year to year, and I'd be interested in learning how that compares to league history. All right. I'll have to check that one out too, Joshua. And if they do make the playoffs, is Bedard the league MVP? He could be. Spencer Knight could be too. So that'll be very interesting. But thank you, Joshua Bauman, repeat offender as always. James Cook, defense and goaltending wins games. We're in every game. We haven't given 4 goals. That's true, actually. James now a repeat offender as well. That is true. So when we don't get blown out, we're in it, right? It kind of makes sense logically, but yeah. That's how it goes. And Peyton Henry, 9039. You know what? Thanks for the love, Peyton. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it. So that's, you guys have given me some homework. I'm going to try to do a couple of things for the next video. That's a wrap for today, Blackhawks Nation. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe. Tough day for us to come back to the old Hawks conversation, but you know what? It's going to get brighter. It's going to get brighter, folks. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support, seriously. And for sharing about the channel to all your family, friends, and neighbors. Get them all in here. The more the merrier. If you made a comment, thank you for sharing your thoughts and your expertise and your passion about the Hawks with us all. And if you are a repeat offender in the comment section, thank you so much for your contributions. You guys are amazing. Absolutely an honor building this community with you. Just love it. And thanks to you all as we celebrate the very best team in hockey. Never mind this weekend. We are the best team in hockey with the very best fans in all sports, and that's all of you guys because you stick through the Hawks, thick or thin, in the absolute best city this world has to offer. That does it for now. I am PJ, and we'll see you next time on the Blackhawks Daily.